Hey guys, Derek here with Poplarville Gauge Trains, and this time we're going to give you a book review. I got a couple of Greenberg guides, one on American Flyer O-Gauge trains, and the other one is a guide to Marx Trains. So stay tuned and we'll take a look at them both. Alright, so first off we're going to do the Greenberg's Guide to Marx Trains. I picked these up at my local library. I actually had to have them order them in for me. You know, they're not in the greatest condition. The reason that I ordered them in, these things are pretty expensive if you want to buy them. Search around on eBay. You're looking at $60, $70, $80 depending on condition. So let's take a quick look. The Marx train, in the forward, it gives you a lot of information, a little bit of Marx history, which is kind of cool. We're showing, it starts out, first chapter is Joy Line to Happy Times. Most of you guys know Marx real well. They started out as Joy Line, then they had the Happy Times line and stuff. Some of these things, there's copies of old ads. This one's kind of neat here. $18.97 was the price back then. Here's one from $29. I'm looking at it upside down, so it's tough. $29.67, or you could put $3 down on this. That's kind of neat. One of the things that I will have to say that I do not like about this book, not a lot of color, a lot of black and white. This is kind of neat though. Here it shows the nature, shows you kind of how they did the tin plate and some different things that you can look out for. Going on here, I'm looking at this upside down, so it's kind of a little difficult here, guys. I did go through the book. Nice little chapter on research and development. Tells you about some of the different things that they did here. And it doesn't cover just the train information, some of the other oddball stuff. This part I found kind of interesting. Where does this chapter start? I can't remember. This is the R&D. They got some cool pictures of stuff that wasn't actually made. That were just, there's a nice cool. Now, in amongst the book, they have these. These are different charts that have a breakdown of, in this is the Joy Line line. Okay, let's put this way. Now, this book was published in 1978. It has prices of what stuff was going for. So, for instance, the 350 locomotive, I'm looking at this upside down, so bear with me, 1927 and 1930 locomotive, the Joy Line, let me spin around and read it. The Joy Line and 350 and black and red boiler, yellow and black cow catcher, and so on. But one of the things that's kind of cool, it tells you that the wheels were flanged. Tells you the type of couplers. Well, it didn't have any coupler gauge here. The frame type that it had, special for locomotive only on this particular one. And now what's kind of cool about this particular model that they're showing about, 1978, in good condition it was 40 bucks. Excellent condition, it was 80 bucks. Mint condition in 1978, this particular one they're talking about was $150. That's big money today, I'm telling you guys. Everything, all this Joy Line locomotives on this particular page. That $150 here in mint, and all the rest are $10, $25, and $40. So there's some value in this stuff. Okay, so let's kind of blast through this thing real quick. Here we got more pages of giving the breakdown of all the different. Now, granted, these values aren't nowhere near what today's are, but it does give you what the different options that were available on all the different models and everything. We're going to blast on through. Early 6-inch cars, tells you about all the different 6-inch cars that were available at the time. Here again, you got the different pages of, now this one's weird. Every other section in here, you got to turn the book sideways. This one has it the right way. So like I say, these are all sideways here. And going through, much more of the pricing guides, but what's cool is it shows you all the different stuff that's available. Once again, all these pictures, unfortunately, or black and white. This is one that I like. This shows like these old flat cars and stuff like that. Back in '78, these things were $6 and $7. Show me one that's under $100 today, and I'll buy it. So we're going on, like I say, more pricing guides. You got a little. Marx had a lot of cool streamlined stuff, but all they really show, they got one picture, and it's not even an actual picture of one of the streamlines. And then there's one picture down here of a Union Pacific, but here it's an M10,000. But again, no color pictures. I mean, do you want to pay, buy one of these guys for that kind of money? Just rent it from your library. Now we're going in. There's a few color pictures of some different locomotives. Not too many. These are kind of some of the different Honeymoon Express things that they had. Those are good if you're into collecting those. I'm actually right now watching this one right here on eBay, and it's only at about $60, but all these other guys are up in the $200 range depending on condition. We go back into the steam locomotives. To me, I found very informative because they tell you all about the Commodore Vanderbilt. This was the first Marx locomotive that they've actually really, this series that they made. And it gives you a breakdown right here telling you all the different types of locomotives. So you had the Vanderbilts, you had the Mercuries, they had the Canadian Pacifics, but there was the 391s, the 396, and the 397s. Then you had the Canadian Pacifics, 494s and 495s. So there were differences in those. I actually have a 397 that's a copper right here. This also came in a silver. And that tells you, it also has the lithographs, and it tells you basically there was 18 basic different locomotives that Marx put out, but there was so many different variations of each one of these, which is kind of cool. And they tell you all about all the different variations, and then of course they give you the breakdown. Now, one of the things I noticed in these breakdowns is, where is it? They have the years that they were made. So in 1941, this is a 397. I don't know if you can see this on the front, but it has a 397 right here. So in 1941, they only have two 397s. Listen, they have a copper and they have a silver. But some of the features on this particular one that I have aren't listed under that copper one. So do they have every single thing in here? Yeah, I don't know. In the beginning, it does mention with these prices. The way they got these prices was off of mainly going to East Coast shows and stuff like that. And they do even mention that in the South and the West at the time, prices might be a little bit higher because there weren't as many of these available. Next chapter was tenders. So there's all your different tenders, and then the pricing guides on those. And then they have going into your plastics and so on. So all in all, I mean, I'd give this book out of 10 points, I'd give it about a 4, to be honest with you. It'll give you information on the different trains that you might be looking for, but obviously don't go off the pricing information. And I really wish you had some more color pictures and just in general, more photos of the different stuff. Okay, so that's that one. The next one we're going on to Greenberg's Guide to American Flyer O-Gauge. This one I kind of gone through real roughly, so we're going to do it together. All right, so we're going on. Sorry that I got to turn this around for a second just so I can look through it. So chapters are, we have clockwork and powered steam locomotives, electrically powered steam locomotives, electric locomotives, Chicago and 102 passenger cars. This is kind of cool because this is a good history lesson right here, this particular chapter. When American Flyer first started out, all their passenger cars said Chicago on them because American Flyer was out of Chicago. Then we have another chapter on 1107, 1108, and the 120 passenger cars, the 6.5-inch passenger cars, Hummer locomotives and passenger cars, wide and low profile passenger cars, lots of information on passenger cars, and then going into a lot of the other different stuff. The majority of the here's the whole section on your clockwork, and it's all the really old stuff, which is kind of cool. Here again, lots of good pictures, and here again, not too much color on some of these, but you do have some good detailed pictures. There's a lot of the clockwork, different clockwork tenders. And jumping ahead, we're going into, now this is the section that I like. These are the O-gauge locomotives. Lately, this has been my latest passion on some of these guys. I'm starting to learn a lot about these. I have, if you guys have seen some of my videos, the cool one that I have up on the wall is a, I'm trying to remember, it's a, I'm having a brain fart. It's a, why am I not remembering this? But it's an old one. We'll go off of that. And then I have a 3309, 3323, I believe it is. I got a 3309, and then I've got another one in this box right here that I haven't opened yet, that I'll be showing you in one of my upcoming videos. But it does cover a lot of that stuff. Good detailed pictures showing you some of the differences, which is really nice. Here again, more detailed on these O-gauge. This is something cool that I noticed, and this pops up in the book. So, and these are actually, it's not like somebody put these in there. Well, somebody put these in there, obviously, but they have corrections in here. So this particular one was said to put in page 43. It says continuation of type 12 boiler / cab, 449 locomotive and tender, 1939, actually numbered 447. So it's got corrections, and there's a number of these throughout the book that is really, really neat. Now, I don't know if you guys have one of you having those. Tell me, are these in your books too, or is this just something that's kind of, you know, cool in particular to this one? So let's blast through. We got tenders, more locomotives. Now we're going into the electrics. Gives you a breakdown of the electrics. Now there's no pricing information in these. So now here remember at the beginning I was talking about the Chicago locomotives. This is where it is. It's showing all the different ones. They would say Chicago on them. These guys, if you have them, hey, and they're great in good condition, you got yourself something that's worth a lot of money there, guys. I would love to start picking up some of these if I can find them. More passenger cars. And like I say, this is all pre-war, which is kind of cool. If you're a pre-war guy, this is almost an American Flyer must-have resource, because it's got so many different passenger cars and lots of photos, some good color photos of a lot of these, good details on everything. I do like this one a lot. We're going into some of our different freight cars. You know, one of the things I really wish this is I've been hunting for one of those. They're so hard to find. This is a very, very, very early crane car. One of the things that with so many of these books, I wish they had more color pictures, because you know, we're going into Streamline. And keep on, sorry if I'm getting carried away with bouncing off of stuff. Going into Streamlines. But here again, give me some color pictures. I'd love to see some of the original colors of this stuff. We're talking about the Burlington Zephyrs here. Here we got a few color pictures, but not many. Now this one right here, this is the Illinois Central Streamline. This was cataloged only in 1935. I just missed out on purchasing one of these actually this week. My only hesitation, it was missing one of, the guy had, it was a restoration, but he was missing one of the passenger cars. And had he had the other one, I would have definitely bought it. He was asking a fair price on it, but I did pass it up. But this comes in a really bright, vibrant green, and where it says the Illinois Central, that's in a yellow right there. So this picture does not do it any justice at all. Once again, this was only available in 1935. That was the Illinois Central. It was called the Green Diamond. I really want one of those bad. That's on my American Flyer bucket list. But they do have a few color pictures, again, but not enough. I mean, real honestly, not enough. I'm slowing down to the streamline because I'm kind of partial to some of the streamline stuff. Here you have a great example. So here it tells us about the Illinois Central Green Diamond. Was made out of sheet metal in 1935. It was set number 1322 R2. It was 46 inches long. The body was a 9962, the body was 9962. It had 11.5 inches, articulated green and yellow. There was 3 passenger cars, which were 9954s at 9-inch, and then the observation car was a 9955 at 10-inch. The reverse was a manual reverse. The trucks were considered Type 12. And then if there was any additional remarks. So, you know, you don't give you any price information, but you get good information. And so blasting back through here, we have a section on passenger cars. And we go into locomotive and rolling stock. Some more locomotives. More locomotives. Look at that. It's a 2.8 or a 4.84. This is and then you have a 12-wheel train. Oh, of course. This is a 570 Hudson. Of course, that's why. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So here again, you even got a section on all your different couplers that were available at the time. So if you're an American Flyer pre-war guy, this is definitely one that you want. I will give this book a 9 out of 10. The only reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10, come on guys, more color pictures. Even though this was published a long time ago, you know, you could have put some more color pictures in this stuff. All right, so there we go. There's a couple of good reference books. All right, a couple of good reference books for everybody. And once again, I'm having a brain fart. Sorry, guys. Yeah. If you can't afford it, your local library, any of the books that you see online, just go down to your local library. If they don't have it in stock, just go to the reference desk and say, hey, can you track this book down for me? I've gotten so many different books. Now, the one thing that I've been hunting down is there are a few different versions of this particular Marx book. And there's one that it's got a blue cover to it, and it covers all Marx Train sets. Unfortunately, my local library right now can't find it, but they're hunting for it. These two particular ones, I'm in the Chicago area. The one came from the very far south suburbs. Another one came from a suburb about 15 miles from me. I went in last Sunday, ordered them, and by Wednesday or Thursday, I got an email saying, hey, your books are in. I picked them up this morning. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And I got a couple of other few more videos coming up. I'm working on a project for my granddaughter. I'm calling it the Ivy Express. Make sure you check out those videos. And all right, I guess that covers it, everybody. Check out those reference materials. You know, instead of just sitting around watching TV some night, sit down and page through a book. Remember those days when we used to look at books instead of our phones all the time? Well, I want you to look at your phone or even look at your computer to watch my videos, but when you're not watching them, pick up some of these books and page through them. Or even as you're watching my videos, page through these. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. Happy training, and as always, choo-choo!
Thank you for watching my papa's videos.